Hello, everyone. It's Jeremy and Tina time.
I love that.
Happy April. Gosh, it's April. It's April.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
cats. We're a quarter of the way through the year already.
It's gone really, really fast.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's just dive in here for everybody. I'm a little bit out of breath. We just literally like sat down, turned on, let's go.
Yep,
Maybe that's the sign of the young fire dragon
it is. I
for the
was just gonna
year.
say that's how the whole month is gonna go.
So, yeah, it's a Young Fire Dragon month. It begins on the 5th of April. So, oh my gosh, Young Fire. We're already having so many issues, right, Jeremy, with this fire energy. We had quite a lengthy talk with quite a, an invested group of people in this field yesterday about this fire energy. And usually we're not used to fire energy like until summertime. I mean, it snowed 6 inches already today. And
Yeah.
that's the last thing on my mind is where's the sun and, worried about being hot. But this yang fire energy that's coming in, man, I'm kind of concerned about the intensity of it because this year's whole chart is high fire, and we just
Yeah,
haven't seen that in a while. What are you
yeah.
feeling?
Wow, I'm feeling a lot of things because I have a fire chart, right? So my natural energy is in fire, but with an absence of fire for the last, 3 years now,
Hmm.
it's kind of a jolt to the system to feel all of this intensity.
Hmm.
And Yang Fire, I mean, we've had a winter full of snow. So for the next 2 months of fire energy, we're going to be expecting to see a really quick thaw of all of that snow. So I
Ooh.
would I would say be on the watch out for, especially for people in Utah, be on the lookout for flooding. If you don't have flood insurance, get it right now because we've seen an abnormal amount of snow in Utah.
Hmm.
Since the 80s, we haven't had this much snow.
Yeah.
So it's great for water, it's great for replenishing the water, but it's gonna melt really, really fast.
Hmm.
And it's the fire dragon. Okay. Just the image in your mind, right? Imagine that. Imagine a dragon opening his mouth and the flames coming out. That's the intensity of April. It's going to be really, really intense. It's also Aries season.
Mm.
Aries is a fire sign. And so Aries is first. It's the first sign in the zodiac. So it wants what it wants first. So this is a very demanding fire dragon this month.
Well, I'm surprised you would say that about us since we're both Aries.
Well, I mean, we've got to be honest.
Totally, totally honest.
We're both Aries.
And
You've got a dragon in
and
your
I've got
chart.
the dragon because I'm an April
Right.
girl. But I was like looking and picturing like images come up as you're talking about this fire energy, and it's like here we're gonna have fire, yang fire in April, yin fire in May, and then
Yeah.
June and July, like summer. So we're
Summer.
getting just a really prolonged sense of this fire energy.
Yeah.
And then, this yang fire is just so unpredictable. So
Yeah.
aside from even weather patterns or just feeling the heat of it all. Fire is anxiety. It's quick. Some of the words that we were throwing around yesterday was, it's consuming. It's always looking to keep itself going and keep itself alive. And,
Yeah.
that kind of energy will thrive on, oh, what did you say about so and so? And then let it fuel them and then take that somewhere else and gather more resource fuel to keep that fire energy moving. So it'll be really interesting. And I think with that being said, we have to be careful where we're putting our attention, what we're thinking about, how we're feeling, because it can take off and just explode. And it's like, wow, I meant no harm by that. Or we don't realize the power. Oh my gosh. I think that's what a lot of this fire dragon energy is for us to understand our personal power.
Yes.
I got chills.
Yeah.
because
And
the
it's about
dragon is
taking,
that magical creator that
yeah,
thinks outside of this mundane muggle world. We have to be careful with our, we have to understand our power, not be afraid of it. Don't let other people control it, but we have to understand our personal power. Sorry, I cut
100%.
you off.
No, no, I cut you off. It in order to really understand our full potential and our full power, there's two things that need to happen. We need to take accountability for what we are putting out there,
Hmm.
and we also have to have an awareness of our energy, right? We have
Yeah.
to have an awareness of what are we bringing to the table? What are we bringing to the conversation?
Hmm.
80% of communication is listening and body language. Only 20% is talking.
Hmm.
So when we take that into consideration, having that awareness of our own personal power, it really, really goes a long way when we have those two things, accountability and awareness.
Hmm. Especially if you can show up with that power or knowing that we each have that. And we don't have to spew it. We don't have to project it onto somebody. We don't need to convince or, talk somebody in or out of something. That we can just be in our space and just show
Yeah,
up being us, holding
yeah,
that torch or that light. It'll be an interesting energy because this dragon is, while he's bound to earth with his master young earth energy, he doesn't want to follow the rules. He and maybe it's not that. Maybe it's not that he doesn't want to follow the rules, but maybe it's like he wants us to question what the parameters we've set, the
yeah,
ideals or the ways that we do things. It's like, is that really serving us? And I think he has the possibility to get, or he has the ability to get us to think outside of ourselves, to think outside of the way we've been doing things.
yeah.
And it's a kind of a little precursor to what's coming next year.
Oh, 100%. I love the combination of earth and fire because
Hmm.
the fire energy is Aries energy and the earth energy is Taurus energy. And we're doing that transition during the month of April. We've got Mercury that just moved into the sign of Taurus, which is a grounded energy, it's earth energy. But Taurus is also the most stubborn of all of the signs in the zodiac. And Mercury is the planet of communication, which is why I brought up taking accountability for our own thought processes and realizing that our way doesn't have to be the highway all the time.
Hmm.
Everyone else has their own philosophy, their own opinion. So
Hmm.
the less we can be stubborn about that and let go of that a little bit, there it will be.
Hmm.
And in that transition from that fiery Aries energy into the more grounded Taurus energy, it's important to remember that everything that we're talking about, the fire dragon, for the month, having that awareness of where our personal power is, because dragons, depending on what dragon you're looking at, it can be a really large animal, right? And
Hmm.
so it has to be aware of its wingspan. It has to be aware of how far that fire is going to go when it opens its mouth. So that's
Hmm.
huge, huge theme for April.
I agree. And it makes me feel like, I know for my personal like mantra or motto this month will be, and maybe, and of course forever, and it's something I think about all the time, is just live and let live. Like, let other people walk their path.
Yeah,
We work really hard at trying to get people to align with our beliefs or to look at it this way, and most people aren't capable of seeing it that way. And it's
no,
not because they're jerks, it's because they're seeing things differently. That's
yeah,
okay. That's
yeah,
what makes the
it
world
is.
go round.
It is. Yeah, I I'm kind of going back to the beginning of this session when you said, wow, it's already April. All of the energy has been moving so, so fast, and the universe is going to kind of put on the brakes at the end of the month.
Mm.
On let's see, Mercury goes retrograde on April 21st.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
we've had every planet moving forward since January.
Mm.
So the first half of this year has flown by. We're all going to feel we're kind of pushing on the brakes at the end of the month here to kind of slow the energy down so that we can have awareness of
Hmm.
where we're putting our thoughts. Mercury retrograde is about going inside and taking a mental what is the word I'm looking for? Inventory of what it is that we're thinking about. Where are we placing our energy? When Mercury goes retrograde, it's important to use indirect communication, writing, journaling,
Oh.
um, double checking your emails before you send them, making sure you're doing spell check before you send that text so that you don't piss someone off. So it's important to remember that. Um, with the fire dragon energy, it's really intense heat, and that's why I worry about flooding this month because it's going to be yang is all encompassing energy.
Hmm.
Yang is kind of out of control. It's the energy of the sun, right? Its heat is
Yeah.
really intense.
Yeah. Anything else about the Western world that we need to be
We've
aware
got
of?
the new moon in Aries on April 19th. It's gonna be a really intense new moon. New moon is about setting intentions, but you want to be really specific this time about your intentions because Aries is about new energy, new beginnings. But it's setting off what's called a square in astrology or a challenge to Pluto, which is the planet of transformation, death, rebirth, and transformation. So it's important to remember that whatever we start during that cycle, we have to be committed to it because it does have
Mm.
kind of that yang fire energy of uncontrollable. If you light this match, you need to make sure you know what you're lighting on fire because it's going to catch fire really quickly and it can get out of control. So don't start any projects that you cannot finish during that cycle of new moon.
Okay, that's good advice. Really good advice. I'm glad my construction is starting today, not then. Oh,
Very good.
yeah. Okay, so are you going to pull a card for us?
You sure am. Nope, we got two. Okay, Ten of Water. Ten of Water is about finding contentment and completion in family and relationships,
Okay.
trustworthy relationships. So again, with our communication, we're going to have to be really, really accountable with that. The other thing that we maybe didn't cover in the last month, or as we were talking about the fire dragon, there's major things going on in the financial world right
Mm,
now. There's lots of different things and unpredictable energy when it comes to the financial world. And the Five of Earth is the card of fears surrounding money. So there may be
mm,
some corrections with the money market this month. So if that happens, what it's important to do is remember that there's always a solution to an issue. One of the things that we were talking about in the class yesterday was coming up with different solutions and different streams of income
hmm.
rather than going, okay, well, I need to rely on this one source. I'm going to branch out a little bit, or I'm going
Yeah.
to teach a class over here, or I'm going to sell a product. So just know that whatever happens in the money world this month, there's a solution to it.
Hmm.
And if there is something or fear surrounding money this month, focus on your relationships.
Mm,
Money is really not the most important thing, it's the people in your life that matter
hmm.
the most.
Nice. I like the way you did that, but it's interesting that you bring up the money card because there's a lot of instability in the southeast corner this month.
Oh, that's
The
right.
five stars flying
Oh,
into the southeast, so there's some instability. So it's about not panicking, right?
mhm.
Things circle around, they come back. It's not the best time this month. It's going to be a rough year with or a rough month with the stars. So it's probably not the best time to make some serious moves on money, or contract signing, that kind of stuff. So maybe just sit and wait this out even after till after the Mercury retrograde. When does it go direct?
100%. That is such a good point. Let me check here. My ephemeris. I think it's middle of May.
21st.
It goes 15th of May goes
Okay.
direct.
Okay. Well, that'll be good. That's a good month. It's a snake month. We can start, looking at change and making some adjustments. Until
Yeah,
then, like you said, work on your relationships. Let's work on our inner power, take accountability, and listen more, and allow other people to live their life. Thank
Yep.
you. Do you want to add
Perfect. Thank
anything
you.
else?
No, that's it. I mean, what a whirlwind. It's the young fire, man.
I know,
It's
I just
just,
feel like we just did that in 3 minutes for
I
some
know.
reason. Well, thanks so much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye.